Morning and good speaking with you. Will yesterday's move have a meaningful impact at all? I mean, will the capex cycle pick up due to the lower interest rate scenario, or do you think that low demand will continue to be a hurdle?
Well, any kind of rate cut at this time is welcome. However, what rate cut we have got yesterday is woefully insufficient. So this announcement has been quite disappointing. The brick and mortar industry of this country has been almost at a standstill for the past several years and is suffering with an overburden of debt and high interest rates. It needs a substantial cut. I would have expected at least 300 basis points, but if not that, 200 basis points as an initial cut to create the impact that is necessary, like a fibrillator does at the time of a heart patient. It's very important that we give these signals. And at the end of this last 3 years, it's already very late, and what has been announced is very little. So it must be remembered again that the monetary policy effects take time to take place. So this meager cut in interest rate is still going to take some time to take effect. And particularly in a country like India, where more than half the country is outside the banking system, interest rate cuts have to be the interest rise has to be drastic and cuts have to be drastic. So I think that it was very disappointing to note that we have missed yet another opportunity to give the right kind of impactful energy back to the industry.
Okay. Well, a lot has been expected from the government, Mr. Gulabchand, in terms of expenditure on roads in particular. The budget indicated that roads and railways is the place where the government will invest. How have the last 6 months been? Have the order books improved for you?
See, I will tell you this. We were talking about rate cuts. That is one thing. But should the government be doing more? Certainly. Both in terms of basic, there are three things that the government needs to focus on with great urgency and great vigor. Is one, cleaning up the dirt on the street, where everybody is stuck because of liquidity, government departments not paying up the monies that are due. There are several such hassles that are coming in the way. They must take a view and quickly clean up that. Second is they must bring about a heavy expenditure in infrastructure, because only government can do that. Private sector at this time is not going to come forth in a big way to invest in infrastructure, because it does not have either equity support nor the banking support. And third is that there must be some basic reforms that make ease of doing business possible. All these are on the agenda of the government, but they're taking too long to happen, too slow to happen. I think this also needs to be done. But just because that is delayed a bit does not mean that the interest cut rates are okay. They are insufficient and disappointing.
Okay, well, that point is taken, but since we have only a 50 basis points rate cut to work with as of now, can you tell us what the impact would be on your own books? Because, you know, HCC pays about 170 crores of interest per quarter. How much will your own interest per quarter come down because of the cumulative rate cuts we've got till now?
Let me put it this way. Most of these rate cuts are not yet transferred to the industry. So when I get to know what exactly is the rate cut they will come, which will be fairly small, I will be able to tell you that.
No, sir. The total interest rate cut, Mr. Gulabchand, the total interest rate cut by State Bank of India, and that's 1/4 of the banking system, is 70 basis points. So they have passed on somewhat.
No, but yet, till we receive that letter, I want to know what they are doing with the infrastructure industry, construction industry. Let us answer that question when it comes to that. But the basic point which you asked me, the other thing, yes, the government has started spending on roads. It is now likely to come up with a big expenditure budget for railways, but it's still not fully happened. So I think we are waiting for that, and we are very clear that it is going to happen. But I would like to request the government to make it faster than that. Not easy task, but they still will have to do it, because the economy is suffering at the moment. At least the brick and mortar economy is.
So realistically, how long do you think it could take for the capex cycle to pick up, Mr. Gulabchand?
Yeah, because as long as the IRRs required for entering a new business or a new project are 20% and above, it will take a very long time. The moment this interest rate comes down by 300 or 400 basis points, you will find a surge of investment happening and would take up very fast. Fast meaning it will take still a year for any big rate cut to actually have an effect. But it will have a buoyancy effect which will make people turn around and look at the issues and start looking at investment as a serious possibility, not as a future possibility.
Is there any improvement in the other administrative, points where projects were getting stuck?
There are
environmental
issues.
Clearances, NHAI's repayments quicker?
No, I think the payment problems from government sector continue to bog us. They're still not able to pay the people their arbitration awards which are there. They go on challenging it and nothing comes out of it for years. It takes 6 to 7 years to get your money, which puts a huge interest burden on the companies and pressure on the banks. That has still not been resolved. But it is being resolved. I know that there is a process being put into place, but it will take some time for that to happen. As far as other areas are concerned, there are many still obstacles. Far too many regulations. The company law, even after amendment, continues to be a major pain. Most companies at the smaller level are moving to limited liability partnerships. So there's a lot more ease of doing business issues that need to be tackled. Are they going to do it? Yes, they have announced they will do it. Some of them have begun. But a critical mass of those changes has yet to happen for the impact to be felt.
Sir, any update on when the Lavasa IPO can take place? I mean, the last time when we spoke with your management, they indicated that till November they would still consider it. Anything on the anvil?
Yeah, but see, at the moment we have nothing just now. No decision has been made. Let's watch the stock market. You saw what happened to the stock market through the year. That on the infrastructure side, on this side, it hasn't really improved. And we were expecting things will move up in April, March when we did our QIP for HCC. After that, things have not worked very well for the infrastructure industry. And therefore, we will wait and watch on that subject.
Okay.
But we are out to raise money and we have to raise them quickly and we'll go ahead with that. Yeah.
Okay, so it would be in this financial year, you think, by March 31st?
Let us see. Let us see. I can't say. The situation and the volatility is such that it is very difficult to make a positive prediction or a positive comment that this will happen by this date.
All right, Mr. Gulabchand, all the best with whatever you take up in the quarters to come. Thank you so much for speaking with us, and we hope the situation improves as much as you hope.